1994, when Michael Jordan was still off doing his side quest in baseball, Jordan Brand dropped the Jordan 10, the second Jordan shoe that would drop while he was away from the NBA. And the Jordan 10 was kind of a shoe that celebrated Michael Jordan's career. At the time, nobody knew he was going to come back, do what he did. 3 more championships after he returned. And one of the OG colorways is coming back for the first time since 2018. Air Jordan 10 Shadow. And the shoe is dropping on November 19th for $215. And of course, it is an OG colorway. It first released in 1994. Michael Jordan was off doing side quests. It came back in 2008 as part of the countdown pack with the Jordan 13s that actually had the 23 on the heel, which Michael Jordan never wore and never appeared on the original version. Michael Jordan himself did wear the Shadow colorway in 1995 when he returned, but he actually had the 45 number instead of 23. That's what he returned to the NBA with. It also returned in 2018, so it's the first time it's coming back in 7 years. And if you remember, there were the 4 original OG colorways, this, powder blue, the white and red kind of Chicago colorway, as well as the steel colorway. And they also dropped a bunch of city colorways. And first impressions of the shoe, I really like Jordan 10s. I just really like how simple it is. I feel like it's a pretty easy to wear shoe. The shape and the silhouette is just 90s, but it's not too 90s where it's like, okay, that probably should just belong in the past, even though I'm a 90s kid. My favorite decade, probably. Still, some things from the 90s should stay in the 90s, but this shape of this shoe, I don't think is part of that. And as a black sneaker lover, come on, this is, ooh. I know it's not all black. There is this charcoal gray, charcoal black on this shoe. That's probably the predominant color of this shoe. But for all intents and purposes, it's like a nighttime, sleek, black-centric shoe, and I absolutely love it. And the materials on the shoe, on the overlays, so on the mid panel here on the lateral and medial side, you see there's black leather as well as the eye stays, and there's a lot of texture to that leather. There are ways to make that texture appear more kind of obvious, but doesn't always mean more texture there is, the better it is. It doesn't feel like super premium or anything. And then on the majority of the shoe, you do see this charcoal gray nubuck that is quite buffed down, so it doesn't feel like super plush. And I usually, for suede or nubuck, I do feel like the thicker type of more plush, longer hair nubuck is my preference. So this, I won't say it's absolute trash, but don't expect the most premium type of materials on this shoe. And then moving up the tongue, you see just black laces out of the box, no extra laces for this shoe. And you do see this easy lace system. So it's very easy to swap out laces if you want. The eyelets aren't hidden within the shoe. And then moving up to the very top of the tongue, you will see the Air Jordan 23. Love how that looks, very subtle. And then you will also see behind the tongue, as well as the ankle lining of the shoe, just all this checkerboard pattern. I do think if you compare just images, the OG version of the shoe, the checkerboard is a little bit more brighter. And if you remember earlier this year when the Jordan 10 Steel came back, they included the toe cap. And the reason why the Shadow didn't have a toe cap is because when the Jordan 10 first dropped, they first started off with the toe cap. Michael Jordan did not like it, so they had to pull the shoe and basically re-release it. But some Jordan 10 Steels did already go out to retailers and were sold. And the Steel was the first Jordan 10 colorway to actually officially release. So that's why that colorway actually did see the toe cap out in the ether. If you have one of those original toe cap Jordan 10 Steels, consider yourself lucky. Personally, I don't love how that toe cap looks. Kind of looks like a head of something. If you know what I mean, I don't like it. I like it clean with no toe cap, just smooth on the toe box area. And wrapping around to the booty of the shoe, you will see red Jumpman on each, and this time they're facing each other. So originally when the Jordan 10s came out, they were manufactured in factories in Taiwan as well as South Korea. So if you got a pair from the Taiwan factory, the Jumpman would face the same way. If you got one from the South Korean factory, they'll face each other. I personally, if I had to choose, I like when the Jumpman faced each other instead of the same way. That kind of feels odd to me. On this year's retros of the Steel as well as this shoe, they had the Jumpman facing each other. In the 2018 retro, they had it facing the same way. So I think they're just going to go with Jumpmen facing each other from now going forward. Of course, you also see this pull tab with the Jordan 10s. And now moving on to the cushioning of the Jordan 10, comes with a Phylon midsole with a full-length Nike Air unit. And of course, one of the most distinct things about the Jordan 10, it is actually on the bottom, this rubber outsole here. So over here, you will see references to all of Michael Jordan's career achievements up until that point. So again, this is kind of like a tribute shoe to Michael Jordan. They didn't know at the time if he was ever going to come back. He was retired. So they listed out all his accomplishments, but it's kind of crazy to think he had achieved all these things already. And when he came back, he did a lot more. It's nuts. But this outsole is just absolutely beautiful. I love the idea behind it. I love how different it is with the red Jumpman right here on the heel. Insole of the shoe, red insole with Nike Air branding. It is just a Dream Cell insole, so nothing too special. And the box of the shoe, you'll see a lot going on here. It is not the original box that came with the OG Jordan 10s. Number one, it has 2025 in the middle of the box around that Wings logo. But this box actually appeared in the 1994 retros for Air Jordan. That was the first time they were bringing back Air Jordans. The Jordan 1 was part of that. So Jordan 10 being released in 1994. This is kind of a reference to that. And inside the box, just brown and white paper. And in terms of sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer for Jordan 10s. I usually just stick true to size, but it can be a pretty snug fit. So if you prefer a looser fit and you do have wide and flat feet, you could go up half a size. That totally works. Remember, there is this elastic that holds your feet in place, and it could be a little too snug for some people's preference. Comfort wise, it is decent, still kind of heavy. It is an old shoe after all, but the padding and the way it wraps around your feet, it is decently snug. Underfoot, still pretty ancient, so decent comfort, but I wouldn't say it's like in a vacuum the most comfortable shoe that you'll ever wear. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 10 Shadow to 30 out of 40. A pretty decent score compared to other general releases. And first, it is colorway. As an all black sneaker lover, not much to say. I really like it. Maybe I would have liked it more if it was just all black, like the stealth version, but still, this is really, really nice. Really nice. It's not as good as some other colorways that just, in my mind, is like absolutely legendary, like the bread colorway, but still, this is up there. I love how this looks. In terms of the materials, nothing too great here. The nubuck is just not like super plush. It is very buffed down, which personally, I don't really prefer that type. Leather isn't like super premium or anything. And in terms of the comfort, I think the Jordan 10s are generally pretty comfortable. Still in a vacuum compared to like modern technology, you can't say it's on equal footing. But as a 31-year-old shoe, I think it does a pretty decent job. And in terms of versatility, I think that is where the Jordan 10s really shines in terms of the shape. It is so easy to wear. It is so simple, nothing too much going on. It is kind of 90s, but I still think it works in 2025. Wearability, the colorway, I do generally tend to think white sneakers are more wearable than just like all black sneakers. And I think generally people feel that as well. So I think that's one part that might detract a little bit from wearability, but an all black shoe, still nothing too bold. Nothing's like in your face out there. Still very easy to wear shoe overall. Today's throwback of the day, it is another Jordan 10. It is the Jordan 10 Linen that dropped in July of 2005, which is nuts because that is 20 years ago. You will see the Soulfly Jordan 10s that came in 2020. Very similar looking, but look how clean this is. I think it is time to bring these back because I think these are going to be super popular. Very easy to wear, very subtle and just crisp. Just clean and crisp. Even though there has been only 2 Jordan 10s in 2025, I do like there's a bit more attention on this silhouette because I've always said this is one of my favorite Jordan shoes, at least from Jordan 1 to 14. And compared to like the 1s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, even though that's my favorite sneaker, even the 2s a few years ago, they were ramming the 2s down our throats. 6s, the 11s, they get a lot of attention, but Jordan 10s feel like sometimes forgotten. Still, in 2026, let's start ramming some Jordan 10 colorways back in our throats because I'm here for it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes